ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
I have the power of God and anime on my side!
Russians are really starting to piss me off.
This chicanery?
Ready for my salad?
You monsters fired Brad's wife.
We all make mistakes.
I had the best words.
Covfefe.
Hell hath no fury like a woman with a Twitter account.
Strong and stable, strong and stable, strong and stable.
She persisted.
It's every day, bro, with the Disney Channel flow.
Yeah! Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Bro, didn't feel good though.
You gotta stop eating the Tide Pods, okay?
This is a dog!
I'm She's president of Kyrgyzstan.
Hi, stranger.
Son is a dead
America is
What a fucking
On January 6th, Chris travelled to MAGFest, a music and gaming festival, after hearing that there would be a Christory of Sonichu panel. When Chris was asked to speak on stage, she received a standing ovation from the audience. Kim Wilson was in attendance and reported to the Kiwi Farms afterwards. So the panel was created to definitely be a huge mockery of Chris. Chris wasn't invited as far as I'm aware of, and only decided to come because he got wind of it. It was more or less of a surprise to the people running the panel when they found out he was there. They definitely glossed over a lot of their slides and made it seem more positive. They stopped shortly before the end of the slideshow to have Chris talk. So after Chris spoke and was heading back to his seat in the back, he was high-fiving people. This one girl got a high five and a hug from him and basically just shrieked with happiness. She shook her hand at her friend, yelling about how Chris touched her hand and wouldn't let anything touch that hand, and kept going on and on about how Chris touched her and was overjoyed by it, to the point that I actually thought this girl was going to go find him to suck his She wasn't even a fat or unattractive girl either, so I don't know. Marvin, known as the man in the pickle suit, was also in the audience and was sitting close enough to report that Christine did not smell particularly bad. After the panel, Chris was treated like a celebrity.
I just have to give just a moment. Not get like right now, what are your thoughts on it?
I love all gays and lesbians!
Also in the audience was Adam Stackhouse, who had defeated Chris in the Chop Chop Master Onion Rap contest over a decade ago. The two shared an embrace, their one-sided rivalry long forgotten. By 2018, Chris was earning over $500 each month on her Patreon, but she and her mother continued to spend excessively. Hoping to raise money so that Barb could afford dental care, Chris sold a binder of old Pokemon cards for $500. When the buyer received their package, they recorded an unboxing video, estimating that the worth of the cards would be between $3,500 to $4,000 in a few years.
There you go. There's a Chris Chan hair that's going right in the trash.
Chris soon regretted selling her cards, and a few days later, she spent $52 to replace 2 of the cards she sold. Chris regularly visited the Endgame's card shop to participate in Pokemon tournaments. According to Chris, Magi-Chan often accompanied her as a bodyguard. Similar to her time at the game place, Christine was prone to emotional outbursts if she didn't get her way. According to an onlooker, Chris once had a meltdown after accidentally dropping her Sonichu medallion on the floor and shattering it. Sometime later, she created a 4th Sonichu medallion to replace the one she destroyed. Kim Wilson sometimes visited the Endgames and claimed that she witnessed Chris singing and wailing into her phone. On one occasion, Chris vandalized a Pokemon sign with a drawing of Sonichu. Due to complaints from trolls and legitimate customers, Chris was banned from the Endgames by March 20th. Sometime later, the Endgames received an envelope with no return address, containing an illustration of an intimidating glare. On March 23rd, Christine tried to enter Charlottesville Fashion Square Mall, a location from which she was permanently banned. Chris was promptly arrested and charged with trespassing. In her court documents, she wrote that she had less than $10 in her bank account. Chris didn't spend time in jail, however, and was instead placed in the therapeutic docket, a court-administered treatment program for offenders with serious mental health issues. As part of the program, Chris had to see a psychiatrist for the next 9 months. These therapy sessions proved to be ineffective. Though the original idea guy, Joshua Wise, was doxed on the Kiwi farms, he secretly remained in contact with Chris. On January 23rd, under Josh's influence, Chris created a new Vietnamese pony character called Cunty Nugget. By the end of January, Josh had enlisted the help of another troll named Stephen Boyd, along with at least 3 other unknown individuals. They started using Discord as their main method of communication. While the Chandlers were struggling financially, the idea guys began coercing Chris into sending money and gifts to their fake personas. On March 3rd, Chris bought 2 video games and sent them to Gwen Mikoto, an alias used by Stephen Boyd. A few days later, Chris filmed her 3rd house tour video at the request of the idea guys.
Hello on the internet, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again, and today give y'all an update. We're gonna take a tour of the house as it currently is. There's my desk. There's all my Sonichu and Sonichu figure prototype figures, along with Sonic and Mewtwo there, just because for now. There's Magi-Chan and I. Yep. Why not? There's the monitor. There are things. Is that. Push 2 girls' figures and some pony. Here's my figure, and there's Night Star with Cunty Nugget. Yep. Going upstairs, I don't want to talk much because my mother is up there. I don't want her to get suspicious, but it's pretty much where my mother is, and our dogs, sometimes our cats, and she's got mostly boxes of her clothes up there. So I'll just go with that, and I'll just look. So pretty much ending in what was my bedroom. That's pretty much it for the inside the house tour as it is today. So yep, thank you very much and have a good day. Where is that button?
On March 26th, Chris announced on Twitter that her sweetheart search was over. In response to one of her fans, Chris clarified that she was in a 3-way polyamorous relationship. In reality, Chris was manipulated by the idea guys into believing that she was married to Magi-Chan and a newly created Rosechew character named Cryzel. A few months later, Mewtwo and Sylvana would be added to Chris's cartoon harem. As Chris was in a sexual relationship with 2 male Pokemon, she came out as bisexual. Around this time, the idea guys asked Chris to take an ancestry DNA test from 23andMe. The results arrived on March 31st. Of note, Chris was found to be 0.2% Native American. Her 7th great grandmother, Polly Bowman, was born in the Cherokee territory of present-day South Carolina. She later uploaded a video to YouTube, speaking more on the subject.
And apparently, about 100% European. But also, in my paternal haplogroup, which that comes from my father, apparently, there was some black in him, so I'm black too. I'm less than 0.1% Ashkenazi, Jewish, and 0.2% broadly European. So, black and Jewish behind this person. This individual right here, I'm black and Jewish, it makes a little bit. I personally wish to extend my apologies, my most sincere apologies to every single Jewish individual in this world and everywhere else for saying all the hurtful things I had said in the past over the years. Yeah. And also, I extend the same apologies to the black people. I never really had any offense against black people, mind you. I'm a fan of Michael Jackson. I'm a fan of Louis Armstrong. I was a fan of Red Fox. I was a fan of the guy who played George Sanford. George Jefferson. I like black people. Alright? Michael Snyder, if you're listening to this, I apologize to you as well for that hurtful insult. So, I recognize myself, I appreciate my Jewish heritage, and I respect all Jewish people from now on and everywhere else, and I encourage everybody to do the same. Everybody else do the same. So with that, everybody be appreciative, be open, be kind, be supportive. I'm still a trans woman. Okay? Alright.
During April, the Idea Guys engaged in a number of Discord group chats with the purpose of convincing Chris that she was alleging that Christine's new wife, Cryzel, was only 15 years old. They also cited the Blue Spike calls from 2009, where Chris unknowingly engaged in online sexual activity with a 13-year-old boy. On April 8th, Christine and the Idea Guys engaged in a 9-hour Discord chat. Joshua Wise assumed the role of Fine, a villain from the anime Symphogear, along with other Sonichu characters such as Magi-Chan and Cryzel. Stephen Boyd used his usual persona, Gwen Mikoto. Fine threatens to destroy the fictional city of Quickville with a nuclear attack. In response, Chris proposes a new law to prohibit such threats, but Fine counters by claiming that Sonichu would invalidate any new laws. Chris desperately attempts to negotiate with Gwen and Fine to protect her city. Fine displays an image of the super weapon Kadingir from the anime series Symphogear. When Chris refuses to take the threat seriously, Fine destroys the moon, causing debris to rain down on Quickville. Chris seeks help from the characters of My Little Pony, but they refuse after learning about Chris's relationship with Cryzel. Chris begs for guidance from her husband, as a chunk of moon debris crushes Roberta. With no advice forthcoming, Chris begins chanting, "I have faith, I have hope, I have heart, I have soul, I have love. I am the soldier of love and honesty, I am Chris-chan Sonichu." Gwen calls Chris a soldier of sloth and gluttony. She threatens to report Chris's inappropriate behavior to the FBI. Gwen offers to abandon Fine in exchange for $500, but Chris's funds had already been depleted by the Idea Guys. As an alternative, Gwen suggests Chris spend a week outdoors, without fast food or bathroom breaks, meditating on her toxicity. When Fine and Gwen reiterate their intentions to destroy Quickville unless the demands are met, Chris threatens to commit. Cryzel enters the chat, furious at Chris's threat of self-harm. Fine tells Chris to send an apology video to Gwen.
Gwen? I'm sorry for everything. I messed up. I'm a fuck up. Got me the best one vagina. I lied about too many things in my life. Is that? I'm not a bad person, Gwen. I'm sorry for everything. Gwen, I'm really sorry for everything.
Gwen wasn't satisfied. In an attempt to appease Gwen, Chris drew Magi-Chan's penis on her wall. Gwen asked Chris to show the drawing to her mother, which she apparently did, causing Barb to cry. At some point, Chris sent another video, possibly as a way of showing submission. Shortly after sharing these videos, Chris attempted to leave the chat and go to bed. The idea guys weren't finished, however, and Fine continued to rain down more moon chunks. Another anime character, Pitahui, from Gun Gale Online, joined the chat. They began a lengthy debate over who will become the next mayor of Quickville. Chris requests the appointment of 3 consultants, including her long-distance friend, Anna McLaren. The idea guys, worried about outside influence, make it clear they don't want Anna involved in any capacity. Despite this, Chris seemingly contacted Anna McLaren anyway, inadvertently raising her suspicion that Chris was being manipulated by trolls. Chris refused to divulge any information about the idea guys, while her beloved city was under threat of annihilation. At some point, Anna reached out to administrator of the Kiwi farms, Null. Anna was preoccupied with her college finals, and lacking evidence of wrongdoing, she was unwilling to get further involved. To alleviate some of her financial burdens from the repeated extortion by the idea guys, Chris began selling many of her personal belongings. She sold several of her Transformers action figures and her custom painted Wii remote. She even considered selling her Bible, but ultimately reconsidered before finalizing the sale. On April 11th, Chris apologized after failing to deliver new Sonichu pages.
In response to the post I just made on my Patreon to give y'all a little bit of an update, that's definitely true. I have been catching up on a whole bunch of Quickville events. But anyway, to pretty much summarize it up, definitely in a bit of a quote, pretty much how I'm feeling everything.
Alright! Shut up! I hear you! I'm coming down! These bottles are making me thirsty!
Chris asked her followers to buy all of her Transformers on eBay, hoping to raise enough money to attend the 2018 BronyCon.
But rest assured, the money that I will be getting, is going towards helping my mother. Alright? And it's also going towards helping me as well, because it's not just her that has the problems here, I have the problems too. So just, please, buy the Transformer toys from me, buy everything from me that I put on eBay, please, 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 please!
In the early hours of April 17th, Chris posted a series of strange tweets in which she confessed to a number of fetishes, convinced by the idea guys that she was a dangerous sexual deviant. Everyone, I do still need the money here to make ends meet for the household. Seriously, I was using BronyCon as a sales pitch excuse to try and sell the toys. I owe a lot towards making amends for my past. You would not believe me if I told you how. But suffice to say, I had done a lot more things in my lifetime from within my subconscious that ended up doing things worse in this world and even in Quickville. I am a major sexual deviant and my fetishes had made a lot of individuals turn against me. I'm a furry. I like the MLP ponies and Equestria girls and guys. I like all kinds of individuals. I like big breasts. I even like those as young as 16 years of age. I'm a porn addict. I'm even into scat and pee. I still have remaining lingering jealousies of men, enough to subconsciously want to kill. I also do like the Cybertronians, Autobots and Decepticons alike. It is super bad that I may as well voluntarily register myself as a sex offender. And all this, among others, have affected my relationships with everyone, every pony and every bot. My years of repressed sexual urges have made my Sonichus and Rosechus essentially go hog wild all over the places. Even to go around terrorizing everyone, to get me some vagina. I also have a fetish for old people too, even my own. And I have a fetish for myself, where, when I have the chance, I would have sex with my Quickville counterpart, and even my Equestria counterpart Nightstar. Her sweetie, Cunty Nugget, was so handsome, he made me realize I was bisexual. He was like, wow. And now, thanks to my subconscious lingering jealousy, Cunty Nugget is dead now. My damn subconscious killed my Nightstar's lover. So much damage to a lot in this world. And even there, in Quickville's dimension, that's what has been driving me crazy these past months. I was worrying over my nation and my species of Sonichus and Rosechus, and there is a lot to make amends, as well as reforming and redeeming myself. 1 hour later, Chris deleted the tweets and claimed that her account was hacked. Later that day, she tweeted another, much shorter message. I'm suffering an existential crisis. Please help me. That night, a visibly agitated Chris was forced into streaming on Twitch, with all donations going to the idea guys.
I'm not eating objects! Will somebody tell this PlayStation to stop this? Will somebody tell this PlayStation to stop this? We have debts, we have mortgages, we have toys to sell. Come on, everybody, buy this thing! $100, complete set, complete with certificate of authenticity. Oh, thank goodness that stopped. What the hell? Why? Why? Why are you doing this to me? I didn't do anything to you! Stop it! I'm just gonna ignore them. I'm just gonna ignore these things. Definitely hard to find this complete set. Hey, somebody's calling me. You're declined. Guess what? You're declined. All calls will be declined. Despite the Alolan Pokemon Center theme going off, you're gonna be declined, so no friggin' telephone calls! Alright, so anyway, you're buying that. You're going on to eBay, and you're buying that, and I'm not listening to phone calls! I told you no phone calls! No! No calls! 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 And no calls! No calls! Did I say calls? I said no calls! Okay, guys! Buy us now, buy us all now! And stop calling me! Stop calling me! Stop calling me! Stop it! Go on eBay! Go on eBay! Buy these! Buy them now! Give me $200! $200! $100 for this! $100 for this! Give me money! Give me money! Money! Give me money! We need money! Pay mortgage! Pay bills! Pay bills! Do this! Do that! Do that! Maybe go BronyCon! The questions don't allow me! I gotta go on my screen again! I'm streaming. I'm trying to sell my Transformers toys, but playing with them and showing them off, but everybody wants to see. Da-da-da-da-da-da! Barbara and Weston, everybody! Say hello to lovely folks out there! You're being streamed on live Twitch network. Say some kind supporting words to everybody. Tell them how you're doing. How are you, Barbara Ann?
I'm doing fine.
So what's going on with you, huh? Everybody wants to know. You're the big interview talk. Talk what's on your mind.
I'm resting.
And what are you doing with yourself?
I'm entertaining myself.
What do you like to eat?
I like to eat fish and chicken.
Do you have any favorite fruits?
Yeah, bananas.
You enjoy those bananas?
Yes.
And what do you like to drink?
I like to drink chocolate milkshake.
And what kind of milkshakes are these?
These are
meal replacement.
Delicious.
They're meal replacement shakes. So, any other, you want to give some kind supportive words to everybody, like, you know, like, I don't know, y'all do well, y'all do good, learn well, be educated and everything, that sort of thing. Give us some wisdom.
I don't know any right now.
Come on, you have a lot of wisdom in your head. What are you doing to me?
Be smart. Act smart. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, Mom. Love you.
Love you.
Give us a hug. Give me a hug. Show him a hug. Give it. Come on, both arms.
Okay, let me go.
Oh. So, wait a minute. Turn me loose once.
I'm thirsty.
Come on. Just say it once. Turn me loose.
Turn me loose right here.
You're supposed to say, turn me loose, you silly goose.
Turn me loose, you silly goose.
You used to do that more flirtingly. Yeah, so... There you go. You saw my mom. Now go on to my eBay shop and buy the toys. Help us! Help us!
A few days later, Chris's phone started malfunctioning, so she asked for help on YouTube.
My phone battery is seriously having troubles, so that's why I can only record on this. And my PlayStation 4 is also still not connecting to YouTube, so I need money to purchase the new phone. Or otherwise to repair this one, probably less expensive to buy the new phone. And it's gonna be like a few $100, so let's buy some stuff off my eBay, please. I need a new phone. This one's really walking out on me. It's been walking out on me bad for a while now. And in case you haven't noticed yet, yep, this is a new shirt I just got from Goodwill recently. Also, these these slacks, light gray. Okay? Yep. So, there's a new outfit for me, this fugly green sweater and track pants. Anyway, so I have been warned by somebody about the nefarious trolls that are planning to cause mayhem for me at BronyCon. I know who you are, Brando. I know that you are trying to use your stand power, the world, to screw things up for me and my true and honest fan base at BronyCon. You'll never win, Dio. Sonichu will be in all of our hearts. Show the love. Spread the love. Fuck you, Dio Brando. Aha!
Chris was told by the idea guys that Sonichus and Rosechus didn't use the toilet. So, she began urinating and defecating on a towel placed in the corner of her bedroom. At some point, Chris recorded a video yelling at her toilet over her lost daughter, Crystal.
Hey, you toilet! What happened to my baby?
At 2:53 p.m. on April 20th, Christine joined another Discord chat with the idea guys. Joshua Wise, role-playing as Pitahui, claims to have murdered a group of Rosechus by lighting the Quickville Mall on fire. Jesus Christ joins the chat, and Pitahui begins fabricating offensive lies about Chris, saying that she wanted to be inflated like a balloon via air pump in the ass, and that she humbly requested that a cattle prod be stuck up his mum's. Chris calls Pitahui a sick, lying creep. Pitahui threatens to harm Barbara, and Chris says that she needs her mother alive until she is able to move out of her house. At this point, Pitahui shoots Cryzel in the leg. Chris desperately calls out to his injured wife. Pitahui shoots Cryzel's other leg, and Chris becomes enraged. You fucking damned Pitahui, you heal my wife's leg right fucking now, or I go on complimenting your damned beautiful body again with greatest kindness that will sicken you to no freaking ends. As Cryzel cries for help, Pitahui plays a game of pool. Chris begs for Jesus to heal her wife to no avail. Jesus is angered by Chris's unfriendly language and states that she no longer has a place in heaven. He asks Chris to apologize to Pitahui and give her whatever she wants. Pitahui asks Christine to kick Magi-Chan hard in the and Chris agrees to do so the next time she sees him. Jesus tells Chris to punch herself in the breast until she vomits, and Pitahui demands that a new law be written where every Sonichu must be maced during dinner. Chris leaves for 12 minutes while she punches herself in the breast as Pitahui pushes a pregnant Sarah down a flight of stairs. When Chris returns, Pitahui spills hot coffee on Cryzel, causing Chris to shout more insults. Pitahui discovers that Cryzel sent a text message to Magi-Chan asking for help. She whimpers as her captor drags her to the balcony, while Christine helplessly begs for Pitahui to stop torturing her wife. Cryzel screams for help from the balcony, but no one responds. She's pulled back inside, and the abuse continues. Pitahui gives Cryzel a gun and dares her to pull the trigger. Christine warns Cryzel that the gun is likely faulty and that pulling the trigger will backfire. Cryzel pulls the trigger anyway, only to discover that the chamber is empty. Next, Pitahui places her boot on Cryzel's head. Chris asks what it will take to stop the torture, and Pitahui requests a video of Chris begging for her wife's life.
Pitahui, please. Please, I beg you. Stop torturing my Cryzel Rosechew. Please, don't hurt her anymore. She means the world to me so much. Please, stop torturing her. This is not right, this is not good, and it's no fun at all. Please, stop this senseless nonsense of yours, you fucking bitch. You make me so angry and upset. Why you gotta do this? Why you gotta do this? It's not right. It's not good.
Nobody approves of this! Nobody approves of you doing all this senseless murdering and her torturing and killing! Now please! Stop torturing Cryzel! No! I beg you!
Pitahui didn't like Chris's tone and whipped Cryzel out of anger before demanding a second video.
Pitahui! Stop torturing Cryzel, Pitahui, please! I beg you! Stop it! You're really taking me off, and you're making me more upset. I can't stand it anymore, Pitahui, please! Stop torturing my wife! Leave her alone, let her go! Let her be safe, let her be okay! Please! Please! Stop torturing my wife! I beg you, Brando! I beg you! Stop this!
Pitahui still wasn't satisfied and went on to demand 2 more pleading videos.
Pitahui! Pitahui, please! Stop torturing my Cryzel! Stop it! Cryzel is my honey! I love her! Cryzel is my honey love! Stop torturing her! Stop torturing her, you crazy fucked up bitch, Pitahui! Cryzel, I love you, honey. I love you, Cryzel. I love you! I love you! Pitahui, please! Stop torturing my honey! Please stop torturing my wife, my love! Pitahui, please stop it!
Pitahui was still dissatisfied and continued to beat Cryzel by stomping on her tail. She then tried another tactic, telling Chris to scream the hit song All Star by Smash Mouth while dancing like an angry, constipated Indian.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna blow me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking at her thumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead.
A second version of All Star also exists, though it isn't exactly clear when it was recorded. The video begins with Christine off camera as she urinates on her bedroom floor while having a conversation with Magi-Chan.
Working on with Magi-Chan. You do me? I mean, you let me do you first, then I'll let you do me, okay, hubby? Let me get this out of my system. Got one more thing. Ow. Oh, right.
Christine walks back into frame completely nude. She sings All Star while masturbating and humping a pillow. Chris is very clearly in distress and is unable to achieve an erection.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna blow me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. Looking from a good with a finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on your forehead. Magi-Chan! Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. All that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break them all. Da 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 da.
After uploading the All-Star cover, Cryzel falls backwards and begins to have a seizure. Instead of helping, Pitahui continues her game of pool and turns up the radio to drown out the sounds of her captive. Chris frantically begs for someone to take Cryzel to the hospital. Pitahui eventually agrees to help and drags Cryzel to her car. When Pitahui arrives at the hospital, she suddenly realizes that she accidentally drove to Venezuela instead of Virginia. The doctors amputate Cryzel's legs and tail using a rusty bone saw without anesthesia. Chris says she's vomiting inside her head and begins to weep. The idea guys inform Chris that Cryzel is dead. Chris refuses to believe them and asks Pitahui to take her wife back to Quickville. At 4:29 AM, nearly 14 hours since the beginning of the chat, Chris logs off as Pitahui threatens to drive Cryzel's body into a telephone pole. Later that day, at the behest of the idea guys, Chris uploaded a video asking for forgiveness from all the fandoms she ruined.
I've learned that I've offended a bunch of fandoms of many various things. I don't know the totality or specifics of it all, and including especially the bronies and everything My Little Pony related, so I'm very sorry to all of you. Please, please, please forgive me, and hope I can make it up to everyone and that we can all move forward from this. Please. I'm sorry. Ruining your fandoms. I'm really sorry.
The idea guys continued to pester Chris for money and gifts, so Chris offered sexual services to anyone locally, with jobs priced at $50 and sex for $100. Chris also listed one of her most prized possessions on eBay, her amethyst high school ring, for $10,000. She ended up selling the ring for $200 to a Kiwi Farms board member called the Captain. Not much is known about the Captain, but he had a personal connection to Megan Schroeder. Chris also sent the Captain a short comic strip depicting herself handing over the ring, while several Sonichu characters looked on with sad expressions. The comic raised the Captain's suspicions that Chris was potentially being manipulated into selling her belongings. After making the transaction, the Captain stayed in contact with Chris, attempting to gain more insight into whatever was happening behind the scenes. Chris refused to engage with anyone that was unwilling to play into her delusions, so the Captain devised a plan. He sent Christine a photoshopped image of her high school ring, made to appear as though it was glowing. The Captain claimed that the ring was transmitting a message in Morse code, indicating that the CPU goddesses had been hacked and were lying to her. During a 20-minute phone call, the Captain convinced Chris that the amethyst stone in her high school ring was actually the reality stone from the Marvel Universe. Hoping to reverse changes to the Sonichu canon caused by the idea guys, the Captain also asserted that Chris's ring possessed the power to transform Quickville into whatever she desired. After feeling assured by the Captain, Chris handed over all her online accounts so that he could scan for viruses. Upon accessing the secret Discord server, the Captain was disgusted by what he found. For well over a month, Chris had been subjected to bullying, blackmail, and extortion on a daily basis. The idea guys would coerce Chris into sending them money or embarrassing videos, and if she refused, they would threaten to harm one of her beloved fictional characters. They would then use the videos Chris sent them as leverage, threatening to leak them online if Chris didn't comply with their demands. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, the Captain reached out to other prominent members of the Kiwi Farms. He contacted Marvin, who had previous experience interacting with Chris. They convinced Chris to take a break from the internet for a week, while they assumed her identity on Discord. Marvin wrote a script to extract the chat logs from the server. After a few days, the idea guys grew suspicious, kicked Chris from their Discord server and tried to delete as much as they could, but it was too late. Marvin and the Captain had already downloaded hundreds of pages of evidence. At some point during this process, the Captain sought additional help from Null. Thanks to Anna McLaren's prior warning, Null was able to quickly piece everything together. Chris was reluctant to trust Null, so the Captain again played on Chris's delusions. He falsely claimed that Stan Smith from the show American Dad vouched for Null, suggesting that he had connections to law enforcement. Unlike the Captain, Null was reluctant to acknowledge Chris's beliefs. The first thing he asked me when we started talking was if I believed in the alternate dimensions, and I said no. He got very mad, started describing his adventures, and I had to walk it back by saying, I can only speak on experience. Together, the Captain, Marvin, and Null formed a group called the Guard Dogs. Using the information they gathered on Discord, Null shared the idea guy's personal information on the Kiwi Farms. Null attempted to contact Josh and Steven's mothers, and when they were unresponsive, he filed a report with the FBI and the Greene County Sheriff's Department. Fortunately, Chris had saved all her receipts, which contained the home addresses of both Wise and Boyd. With gifts included, they managed to extort at least $6,000 from Christine. The guard dogs uncovered additional videos and chat logs, allegedly even more disturbing than the ones they'd released to the public. In one instance, the idea guys had Chris record a 2-hour reaction video to grotesque. According to the captain, Chris claimed to have punched her own mother during a chat with Joshua Wise. Josh also forced Chris to have phone sex with him on multiple occasions. It's unknown if any of these calls were recorded. The guard dogs persuaded Chris to meet with her former pastoral counselor, Rocky Shoemaker, in the hopes that she would help Chris file a police report. Instead, she recommended that Chris seek therapy. This would be the last known interaction between Chris and Rocky. Neither the FBI nor Greene County were willing to take action. Eventually, the captain sold Christine back her high school ring. Even after the idea guys were ousted, the guard dogs carried on with their goal of protecting Chris from those who sought to exploit her. They would monitor all of her online activities, with Null personally screening her emails. On May 4th, Chris uploaded a new video to announce her freedom from the idea guys and her return to Patreon.
I have something of importance to talk about right now. I wish to apologize sincerely for the lack of progress. But I am not at liberty to explain what happened over the last few months. But it's all being handled and that I'm back!
But Chris was not back. Though the idea guys had been removed from power, many of the concepts they had instilled remained. To this day, Chris believes in magic, alternate dimensions, and the genuine existence of her imaginary Sonichu characters.
Hello everybody, this is Good Chandler coming to you live from home, and I'm gonna tell y'all some real true shit. I'm sick of the trolls, I'm sick of the hate. Hey, not the goddamn commentary. No, we're not tolerating freaking commentary anymore. I'm tired of being hated on. I'm very stressed out. I'm human. I'm Sonichu. I need a break. And I'm just tired of constant day. Hatred! And I will not tolerate anymore hurtful comments or BS from any of you spiteful, hating people anymore! You better shape up, be kind, be courteous, or attack!
On May 5th, after receiving some negative comments online, Chris tweeted, "Yesterday, I noticed you're giving me a lot of hate. I wish that everyone in this world would see me for the true-hearted and loving person I am. You need to understand, I am not delusional and cartoony. During the last 6 months, something really bad happened to me, and I can't talk about it on here for very specific reasons. As a result of what happened, our finances are very low, the worst it has ever been. Please consider donating to me so that I can fix this very bad situation that I was forced into. Someone took advantage of me in a very serious way. The constant hate has me feeling lower than dirt, and I just want everyone in the world to know that I, Christine Weston Chandler, love y'all, no matter what." The Chandlers reiterated their need for financial assistance.
Go.
Everybody out there, buy things off of eBay.
Off of Christine's eBay.
Off of Christine's eBay to help us pay our mortgage.
Please.
Thank you.
Hello everybody, Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again, and the mortgage payment is really due tomorrow, and we have to make 2 month payments this month, and we need like $200, so please get on eBay, buy the shit, buy the stuff, buy the things off of eBay, so please buy now. We need mortgage payment, we need food for the rest of the month, buy stuff over to eBay. I gave you my mother, there is no excuse, this is truth. This is not a lie! Bye now! Please, everyone, help us. Just the past 6 months, I can't talk about it, but money getting busted because we lost a whole bunch of money. And if we don't pay this mortgage, they're gonna foreclose on our house. So please help us. I'm gonna add more listings later, but for now, please go on to my eBay and buy everything that I have on there right now. Please help us, help us, help us.
On Mother's Day, Chris tweeted that she gave her mother a hug and kisses, and asked that her followers do the same to their mothers. Later that day, she posted a drawing of Sonichu, Rosechu, herself, and her Quickville counterpart. Chris explained how, in a sense, she was the mother of her counterpart. She also noted that in the drawing, the Quickville version of Chris was touching her butt. On May 17, Chris mentioned that her cat Sorbet had been missing for more than a week. 3 days later, Chris tweeted that her cat Polo was struggling to breathe. She pleaded for donations so that she could afford veterinary care. Sadly, a few hours later, Polo would pass away from old age. Several months later, Chris confirmed that Sorbet had also died, and that his soul lived on in the city of Quickville. On June 14th, Chris uploaded a video asking the public for help repairing her Commodore 64 game console. A drawing of Cryzel and Magi-Chan can be seen taped to the ceiling over her bed.
As you can see right behind me. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I can see it too. There's my Commodore 64 monitor. There's my floppy cassette drive with 2 joysticks. And here's my old BFF. So I'm reaching out to a local in Charlottesville, Virginia. Whoever hears this video, please. I did take this thing apart myself and look inside, and I also have this lovely bunch of literature that my father invested. And also with that, I might ask the person to come over to bring a Y cable with 3 males on it. And yes, go ahead, make a meme out of that. Y cable with 3 males.
On June 22nd, Christine embarked on a 5-hour drive to Philadelphia, where the TooManyGames Convention was being held. The event coordinator, Justin Silverman, was a fan of Sonichu and provided Chris with a free guest badge. Upon arrival, Justin noticed that Chris was carrying a baseball bat for protection, so he cautioned her to behave appropriately during the convention. On the second day, Chris attended the Bowser vs. Robotnik panel. During the Q&A session, Chris took the opportunity to speak with Mike Pollock, voice actor of Robotnik.
I'm a Sonichu. In case you don't know, I'm creator of the original Yellow, but I transformed to this one. And I'm encountering Eggman, and Bowser can laugh if he wants to, if he likes it. So, Eggman, let's talk for a moment. You like wordplay? All right. So, I got a good reason for you to go back to it. Call yourself Robotnik. Because don't work backwards. You say Eggman, I say, nah, I'm gay. Split it up a little bit further, it sounds like, nah, I'm gay. And at least Intervor sounds more sophisticated than that. So what do you have to say for you now? See yourself now. Nah, I'm gay.
Well, I believe William Shakespeare said it best when he said, "What's in the name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet."
As Chris met with her many fans, she would often kiss them on the cheek without warning or consent. After several complaints to the staff, Justin Silverman sent her a message through Facebook, warning her that any further reports of unwanted intimacy would lead to her expulsion. Chris had her phone on silent and failed to notice the messages before more complaints rolled in. Consequently, Chris was asked to leave the convention. Instead of going peacefully, Chris had a mental breakdown, collapsing to the floor and refusing to move.
I'll come back. I know how to get him off. You have to offer him money. $100 and he'll get up.
As security attempted to defuse the situation, the police were called. Luckily, one attendee happened to be the mother of an autistic child, and she was able to use her experience to calm down Christine. With her assistance, Chris was escorted off the main floor. The woman spoke with the police and Chris avoided arrest. The next day, Chris defended her actions at the convention. One question: what is wrong with this world? A peck on the cheek from a celebrity that one likes, positively mind you, is not offensive to me. What really ticks me off is that any displays of likes and affection is viewed as taboo and more offensive than bloody gory violence. I am going to tell all of you hater trolls something right now. I will remain optimistic and open-hearted, and I am not going to fail. I have the love of my real, positive, and kind people and fans. And I have the love of my partners, Magi-Chan, Cryzel, Sylvana, and Mewtwo here. They are right here with me, and they directly, offline, communicate with me always. And more importantly, I love them all, and they love me truly. This is real. After hearing about her behavior at the convention, Null contacted Chris. The touchy-feely stuff is very serious, and if it happens to the wrong person, getting banned from a con is the least of your worries. They might press assault charges, which is sometimes years in prison. Chris was unwilling to admit any wrongdoing. I was sent to TMG to learn more about the possible return of Tari and Ray Wrights being up to something with the Atari VCU. The CPU suspicions were correct from what we were able to get from what I learned during my time there. We need to make the presence of the Nation of Comma and the CPU of the Commodore console Scarlet spread far and wide everywhere. Her memories have been bestowed to someone in this world of ours. On Twitter, Chris expanded on the topic of the newly discovered CPU goddess. Scarlet moved her soul and memories into a destined Commodore 64 console in this world, waiting to be absorbed and reawakened in her new host body. The person has taken in and accepted Scarlet's memories within the past few weeks. No need to look for her, she differs in physical appearance, but still in as fair a shape as Scarlet was. She will show up soon to help us all when possibly Ray Wrights makes her attack in this world, or possibly someone else. All we know of who the new CPU Blue Heart is that she is a woman who had and still owned a Commodore 64 console in functional condition. Scarlet is to be supported by everyone, if you all would please, in kindness. I know all this because I have the psychic link to our sister dimension, as a lot of other people in this world do as well. A few weeks later, Chris revealed the identity of Scarlet, who was to be admired and supported by all. Magi-Chan told me now was the time. I, Mrs. Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, am the new CPU Blue Heart. On July 19th, Chris finally completed Sonichu 12-9 after nearly a full year. The comic was shorter than recent issues and focused entirely on her Night Star character instead of Sonichu. It was heavily influenced by the Idea Guys and the My Little Pony franchise. On July 21st, Chris tweeted at Shannon Maguire, author of Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, and other Marvel comics, believing her to be an expert in multiverse theory. Chris asked Shannon which dimension Earth occupied, to which she responded, Earth 1218. A Twitter user cautioned that Chris would likely interpret her answer literally, so Shannon clarified that Earth 1218 was not an actual dimension, but merely the designation for Earth's dimension in the Marvel universe. But the damage was done, and from that day forward, Chris held on to the belief that our dimension was referred to as 1218. In early 2018, Chris sold 32 drawings to two individuals known online as Devil and Lucas, including the ripped up fragments of the infamous Megan drawing, She Came for Quick. Chris personally delivered them to Lucas, who lived nearby. This marked the beginning of a series of visits between Christine and a group of young transgender teenagers, later known as the Teen Squad. Lucas was only 16 years old when the 36-year-old Christine began spending time with him. Their friendship was unknown to the guard dogs and the general public for many months. On July 22nd, Chris defended herself against accusations of insanity. I am only going to say this once for those who may think me as delusional, crazy, or shit like that. I am not delusional, crazy, or anything of the sort. I have my own magic powers that I am still learning about for myself, from my family and allies. I've already talked to psychiatrists and therapists years ago, so any new such meetings would be a very moot point. Also, I have been on anxiety and blood pressure meds for many years, and I've always been down to earth. And I still see my Sonichus and Rosechus and all else from our sister dimension when they are here. Not to mention my electrifying powers and my quills, tails, and ears of my Sonichu form literally on and attached to me and in feeling. Therefore, they all are real, and you may tell everyone that. And I do not wish to have to repeat myself on that. And I really do not like being mislabeled as delusional or shit like that. Plus, I have friends of our Earth 1218 here who have been to our sister dimension and experienced that world for themselves. In mid-July, Chris's car began to act up.
Hello everybody, it's Christine Chandler coming to you live from my car right now. I'm stopped right now, but my car has been acting up lately. It's been going towards the heat. So yeah, please do me the big favor. Buy my big price items so I can get this car totally patched up so I can get to BronyCon and all that. Yeah, big price items. Please buy those now so I can get this car worked on today.
On July 26th, Christine drove to Baltimore for the 2018 BronyCon. She borrowed her mother's car as her own vehicle wasn't functioning properly. The next morning, Chris uploaded a YouTube video to announce her presence.
What's up, my bronies and bigger sister peeps? Come say hi. Selfies, hugs. No chat free, just, don't harass me or anything. Be kind. Follow the rules. Okay, I'm certainly gonna follow the rules. I learned my lesson from past experiences and I'm not gonna go into liberty and talk about, but where am I gonna be? I'll be around. You don't know where I'm gonna be. I'm not putting your details online, but I have a list.
Chris explained on Twitter that Magi-Chan, Cryzel, and Mewtwo would be with her at the convention to act as bodyguards. After Chris arrived on the floor, she uploaded another video while waiting in line to meet Tabitha Saint-Germain, who had blocked Chris on Twitter the previous year.
Right now I'm waiting in line to get Tabitha Saint-Germain's autograph, so nobody interrupt me there. And my feet gave out, so I'm standing on my knees.
Chris also attempted to meet with Noaking, another voice actor who had blocked Chris in 2017, but she was rejected. Chris vented on Twitter. He pushed me away, and I had a drawing and a present. He remembered blocking me on Twitter, like months ago. What is his problem with me nowadays? He closed himself off from me, did not even stop to tell me why. I feel devastated. I feel upset. Tears are welling a bit. Why? Awesome and inspirational as he is, he can be a dick, apparently. Who knew? I guess it is the aloof, cold dude in him. Chris's experience at BronyCon was much more positive than the TooManyGames Convention 1 month prior. However, on the way home, the car that she borrowed from her mother ended up breaking down. After letting her troubles be known, the guard dog stepped in. The captain took charge of Christine's Twitter account to post updates and to ask for donations on her behalf. Chris posted a video to Twitter while she waited for the tow truck.
I'm walking around the van, around and around the van, the van, it was the plan. Yay!
Within a few minutes, Chris received $100 in donations and was able to pay for the tow truck. After safely arriving home, Chris bragged about sponsoring the BronyCon event, despite having only $20 in her bank account. On August 3rd, Chris uploaded a video showing the process of spray painting her shoes.
We're looking at a new pair of shoes. So, definitely bring out the popcorn, because you're watching it as it happens. We're painting the shoes. There we go. It's nice to have a lap to work on too with all this, so there we go. Hair's not included in baggage. 2 months I've been a CPU goddess. Almost 2 months. I am doing this because I like this style of shoe. This identifies me. Definitely separates me from my counterpart in Quickville. And she's around here somewhere too, so yeah.
How are you doing?
Hello! Hey everybody, guest star, here's Barbara. Yeah. There's Barbara, say hello. Oh, darn it. Oh boy.
How much did they cost?
The shoes?
Yeah.
Oh, they're about $50.
50?
Yeah.
I thought so. Did you put the Civil War wall chart on eBay?
No. And I have too many other things to worry about other than frickin' eBay. And don't die, and I have so many responsibilities. You know my life, folks. Stay tuned for further details on the life of a CPU in training. Have fun.
I have a suggestion.
What's your
Let's donate the 4 pillows to Goodwill.
No! I may have a need for those.
2 of them.
No, I may have a need for those. No, just no. No.
Okay.
No, not the body pillow. I got a blue ring on my finger.
Got it on the carpet.
Don't worry about the carpet. Now come on, Leaner.
Oh, I washed all your towels and washcloth.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna lay your washcloths here.
Oh no, put them there, please. Put them on the clothing stack. Up here. Would you please put it back and get out of my way? You're in my way right now.
Don't forget to shred.
I'll shred them later. Thank you. Go on. Thank you. I love you.
Love you, baby. See you later.
See you later.
On August 10th, Christine sent a text message to a member of the Teen Squad. My mother cleaned up my bedroom area and some of my work area during my weekend at BronyCon. The iconic striped Ralph Lauren rugby shirt of mine is misplaced, and we are looking, and my mother is trying to remember where she saw it. I fear she had trashed it by mistake, but Magi-Chan informs me that the shirt is still here in the house somewhere. I, like I foresaw, felt very frustrated and upset, so I showed her what I recovered and told her how I felt. And, with her watching, I yelled at a body pillow pretending it was her. I pretended I had my iconic shirt in hand, and I slapped, punched, and even humped, then tossed the pillow towards the head of my bed. Then, with that as her punishment for that reckless good-intentioned misdeed, I forgave her for that whole mess. But I still miss my shirt, holes and all. At some point in August, Chris learned that the My Little Pony franchise would soon be entering its 5th iteration, which included a change in art direction. The Brony fandom began during the long-running 4th generation, known as Friendship is Magic. Many, including Christine, were unhappy with the change, and hoped that Friendship is Magic would be extended. Christine uploaded a YouTube video, announcing a protest campaign.
People of Earth 1218, heed my warning! Spoiler alert, I had seen the future and I had to prevent it. So I had just conferred with Twilight and Princess Celestia as well, and Celestia and I are in agreement, as she had seen the future as well. We must prevent this G5 mistake from ever happening. And yes, G4 will continue. But anyway, heed my word, Hasbro, and everybody on the MLP show. Generation 5 must never happen. And G4 must have at least 5 more seasons. Heed this. Heed our warning. This is an official command from your CPU Blue Heart, in agreement with Princess Celestia of Equestria, all of which in our sister dimension.
Chris released her stress in a short video posted to Twitter. Over the next few weeks, Chris continued to reveal additional insights about the Sonichu universe on Twitter. She explained that her alternate dimension encompassed not only all Sonichu related characters, but also figures from the Marvel, DC, and Disney franchises. It also contained all anime characters, along with numerous video game worlds, including Sonic the Hedgehog and Pokemon. On September 2nd, Chris learned the number of the shared dimension. I have just verified, by a very well-educated and well-read ally of ours, along with Magi-Chan Sonichu, which dimension number our sister dimension is. We all here live in Dimension 1218. Our sister dimension is C197. On September 18th, Chris announced that in the near future, everyone would have access to C197. Remember when I said anything is possible? Well, at Justin Bieber got married, bam! Very soon, everyone will be able to see those from C197 in this dimension 1218 of ours, fully and tangentially. Quote me on that. Throughout this period, Chris and the Teen Squad maintained their behind-the-scenes relationship. Occasionally, they would meet at Lucas's home to smoke marijuana. During their visits, the teenagers would roleplay as Sonichu characters. At one point, Lucas filmed Chris making out with Cryzel.
I love you, Cryzel. My wife, my lovely lady, ladies and gentlemen.
She's very pretty.
Thank you.
Chris and the Teen Squad communicated through Discord, and over time, Chris grew to trust them. She shared the login details for her Twitter account with Lucas. On October 3rd, Chris learned that Donald Trump had praised Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea. Christine asked for donations on Twitter so that she could travel to Hawaii to protest against Trump. The following day, the captain sent Chris a text inquiring about her Hawaii tweet from the day before. Christine confessed that she was surprised upon reading the tweet herself, alleging that it was written by Magi-Chan. The captain grew concerned that someone was influencing Chris yet again, and asked if she was still communicating with the Idea guys. Chris denied that she was secretly in contact with anyone, and insisted that she only spoke to her hubby, Magi-Chan, who was currently investigating a dimensional rift on Alcatraz Island. For whatever reason, Chris was unwilling to reveal her friendship with a Teen Squad, possibly fearing disapproval from the guard dogs. On October 14th, Magi-Chan posted another tweet. Help, my love, Christine's mind is not as healthy as it could be. Yes, it is I, the one and only Magi-Chan Sonichu. Yesterday, I was in Australia, visiting with the president. Now, I am continuing that journey. But I digress. Christine's pets need food. Please donate. Later that day, Magi-Chan tweeted again. This week is going to be a doozy. My love Christine has much to do in order to prepare for the genesis that will be Quickville's coming. Our dimensions will merge. For all of you that are not saved, please give yourself, mind, body, and soul to the CPUs generously. Chris embraced the notion that Earth's dimension 1218 was destined to combine with the Sonichu dimension C197. Once the merge was complete, Chris would have the opportunity to live alongside her Sonichu characters, a prospect she eagerly anticipated. On October 17th, Chris asked for more donations. Look, money is bad right now. As much as I hate to say it, I am still partially human and need food to survive, as well as my mother and our pets. The need is dire. Bzz, this is Magi-Chan Sonichu and Mewtwo. Please help our wife with great haste. Chris soon realized that her financial troubles would only be temporary. When the worlds merge, I will have access to tons of savings in Quickville. It is a lot of money indeed. 10-to-1 is my repayment rate. On October 26th, Chris officially announced the dimensional merge in a YouTube video.
I am Mrs. Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, CPU, Blue Heart of Quickville, and Kama, and the consoles of Commodore. Still getting used to that, and I'm still adjusting and learning the ropes of all my responsibilities, powers, and everything. Still in development. But anyway, the dimensional merge. Yes, this dimension, right here, 1218. It's going to be merged with our sister dimension, C197, where most of our superheroes, supervillains, OCs, and what have you, and other characters have been existing and coexisting. Yep. But yes, those are going to survive, and those are not going to survive. But fortunately, should be most of the Earth population. And those that I do care about are going to survive. Among which that won't survive. Gonna be some of the politicians. But aside from that, the decision is definitely supported by me, but also gonna be made in part by your goddess of this earth. Yep. Parent of Jesus is a woman. Okay? Yep. Let's get that mind blower out of the way. Anyway, they're being supportive and all this and everything. I'm supporting them, and yep, the dimensions are gonna merge. And yada yada yada. Pardon me, my head's got the thing, psychic link, and I get the headaches now and then. Because I'm so integrated in all this. Because who knew I actually am destined. And with the ancient prophecy of C197 and everything, that I am literally half Sonichu, and I soon will be able to transform into my Sonichu form. Anyway, don't panic. Remain calm. We will get through this. We will survive. And everybody will get to meet their OCs and superheroes. We'll definitely stay away from the supervillains, though. Okay? Let us superheroes and heroes deal with them. Essentially for references. Oh, that's gonna be a long way to scroll down. And also, I definitely need to make a personal address to her of this world, Megan Schroeder. I want you to know, first off, that I definitely have no ill feelings against you, and I strongly support your relationship with your sweetheart. And obviously, I'm not going to come after you whatsoever. I have been married since last March to my Magi-Chan Sonichu and Cryzel Torture, and more recently became married to Savannah Rosechu and Mewtwo. So, Megan Schroeder of this world, you are CPU Red Heart. At least of this world. There's two CPU Red Hearts. If anybody wants to make a Doctor Who joke, skip it because I'm talking serious. So, yes, Megan Schroeder, you are indeed a goddess. Just like I became a goddess. So, sooner you wake up to that realization, the better it will be. And also, keep an open heart and an open mind for telepathic communications from your counterpart in C197. Anyway, pray to CPUs. You'll get your questions answered through that way. Also, I welcome you to come talk to me directly. We'll set up the communications that way. Thank you all for listening. I am Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, the CPU Blue Heart of the nations of Quickville and Kama and the consuls of Commodore. Thank you. Be safe and have a great day.
Chris asked the captain to send her message to Megan, which he did, posting her response to the Kiwi farms. She wasn't interested in being part of Chris's fantasy, but she did get some amusement from the video's comment section. The next day, Chris explained what would happen during the dimensional merge in great length. She mentioned that most of the Earth's population would have a counterpart in C197, and that they would either merge with each other or coexist, depending on their similarities. However, those who are mean and cruel would face a different outcome. Anyway, here is the lowdown, and no sugar-coated gonna happen. Those of you who are not fated to make it throughout the hashtag dimensional merge will face one of two methods of the paradox effect. One, you might simply die in some inexplicable, subtle, horrific, or insert adjective here, death that will be simply unavoidable. Personally, even I, myself, in empathy, feel just as shocked typing and reading that, as you are, and I am really, truly sorry. Or 2, and I am optimistic towards this outcome. You might merge with your self-counterparts, with your respective consciousness and personalities becoming one, and very likely unchanged in perspective. And here is one major spoiler alert. As his C197 counterpart has been making the more positive choices and decisions that he should have done here. This Earth's current POTUS, at real Donald Trump, is fated to die and not merge with his counterparts. And C197's Donald Trump has been consistently and continually kind to the SLGBTQ, the senior citizens and veterans, as well as the immigrants. Never acted on that Mexico wall, period. And he certainly never deported or banished anyone from the USA there. Also on the chopping block are the individual world leaders. About half of the total number of the world's soldiers are there as well, regardless of the country, nation, religion, race, orientation, and so forth. Also, people of the businesses and corporations whose sole motivation is money and selfishness. But in total, no less but more than 40% of the total worldwide population will either merge with their self-counterparts or die. On October 30th, Chris revealed that she had adopted a stray kitten named Patches, who had conjunctivitis in his left eye. A few days later, Chris urgently tweeted about her need for donations to cover the expenses for food and medicine required by her new pet. Later that same day, the Teen Dream Squad took control of Chris's Twitter and posted a photo of a dead cat, alleging that one of the Chandler's dogs had mauled the kitten while Chris was playing a video game. After an investigation by the Kiwi Farms, it was determined that the image was fake and had been taken from an article about special effects. The following day, Chris claimed that it was Magi-Chan who had posted the strange tweets regarding the dead kitten. After taking Patches to the vet and receiving medicine, Chris reported that her kitten's eye infection was clearing up. On November 6th, just 8 days after being adopted by Christine, Patches passed away from pneumonia. He was the 4th cat to die in Chris's care since the 2014 house fire. According to both Kim Wilson and the captain, Chris wasn't to blame, noting that she had taken Patches to the vet multiple times. On November 18th, the Teen Dream Squad tweeted from Christine's account again, this time leaking a small section of a video that was recorded during the height of the Idea Guys saga, in which she sings and masturbates to All Star by Smash Mouth. Chris quickly deleted the tweet and stated simply, "The merge is in progress and will be taking final effect very soon. Have faith and pray to the CPUs, everyone." On November 22nd, Thanksgiving Day, Chris added, "When I said on Monday the 19th that the dimensional merge was upon us, I stated that it was really beginning, as it had been warming up for a while beforehand, and the sequence of events has been continuing to unfold in both this Earth of 1218 and the Earth of C197. My mind and psychic superpowers has been off the charts in doing its part in all of this, as well as keeping track of the events in action and yet to come." By late November, the guard dogs were becoming frustrated with Christine. Null, in particular, was unwilling to entertain her delusions. The captain explained how Chris would ignore his advice in favor of the Teen Dream Squad. Basically, he did what he's done to others before. He ignores you for a couple of weeks and then comes skulking back. Right now, I'm trying to coax him into telling his therapist's mother, other IRL friends about what's going on so that they can delegitimize said ideas. Unfortunately, he has 3 other IRL friends that are openly endorsing said ideations, so it's become a thin line to walk. If he were to go silent on me again, it might very well be forever, as he'd have said IRL friends to go back to that would continue this current mess. On November 20th, the captain announced that he was taking a break from online activity. Though he meant well, the captain's willingness to indulge in Chris's delusions only served to reinforce her beliefs. If I was mentally ill, then the captain would be too, because he has personally met Magi-Chan, and a whole lot of other people have seen him with me as well. There is no mental illness amongst us. All this is real. On November 26th, Null stated that he no longer wished to be part of the operation.
I systematically dismantled all these people taking advantage of him. I did. I fucking skewered like a dozen little fucking retard kids that were fucking with this guy. I got all these bad influences out of his life. I contacted the police to try and get him help, try to get these people who were swindling him of thousands of dollars money, and built up a nice little circle, filtered out people so he wasn't getting his delusions emboldened by people trying to get him to do shit. And he didn't want that. He wants to talk to people who will play pretend with Mewtwo and Sonichu, and it's just like, I don't want any part of that. I'm not going to embolden your delusions. You lose a lot of sympathy for him just because of how intentionally he alienates people who don't want to play exactly to the T with what he wants to do. And what he wanted to do was further submerge himself in this fucking delusional bullshit that I can't stomach. Because whenever you talk to him, he sends a message back like, yeah, I had a conversation with Mewtwo, and she assures me that this is going to happen in the next week. Or I'll tell him something like new information that he should be aware of. And he's like, Magi-Chan told me about that, and this just confirms that. And it's just like, I'm sorry, but not sorry. I'm not playing this game.
With the dissolution of the guard dogs, Chris was left isolated and vulnerable. In mid-December, the Teen Squad leaked 4 more videos from the Idea Guys era through Chris's own social media accounts. Again, Chris quickly deleted the tweets and denied that she posted them herself. That was not me. I repeat, not me. This is stuff that Idea Guy made me do. Joshua Wise and Stephen Boyd need to pay and stay out of my Twitter account. On December 14th, the Teen Squad posted another message. R.I.P. Barbara Ann Weston Chandler, 1941 to 2018. The tweet was deleted within a minute. As proof that Barbara was still alive, Chris posted a video a few moments later.
Hey, Mom. Say something.
My name is Barbara Chandler.
Are you dead right now?
No.
You're very much alive?
Yes.
How strong do you feel?
Very strong.
Good. Thank you.
After uploading the video, Chris finally took steps to secure her Twitter account, logging out of all devices and setting up verification. She completely wiped her laptop for good measure. On December 22nd, after many questions about why the dimensional merge was taking so long, Christine justified the wait. I'm feeling as antsy as y'all are. I still am able to see everyone and everything of C197, including my loves with my true sight, and I am able to actually touch and feel them, as I also feel them when they touch me, and I hear them loud and clear. I am also able to make eye contact with them, but still with true sight, I want as much to be able to see them, and for everyone else of this 1218's Earth to be able to see them too. But patience is indeed the factor here, and the merge is going to apex and happen any moment now. I know it is all happening because I have had hundreds to millions of visions and premonitions throughout my whole lifetime, and I have experienced more and more and more deja vu moments, as I actually, in my waking moments, experience and feel the moments exactly as I had foreseen them before in my dreams and visions. How many deja vu moments do most of y'all experience? Once in a blue moon frequency? Once in a while? On recent average, I'm clocking in at least 1 or 2 per day. And more lately, my psychic links to not only the Earth, with Quickville and Comma in C197, but this 1218's Earth too. I even had 2+ moments of that while I was talking with my appointed psychiatrist at Region 10 during the hour. Even she was flabbergasted, and she has her degree in psychiatry from a good school. I have felt constant electricity and lightning throughout my whole body, as well as in my hands and fingertips, and in my head. And even more voltage in 2 nights that threw me for a real loop, and all I could do was wait it out. Thousands to millions of real voltage surging through my body and my head. I am essentially a central conduit of all of this, along with each of the other deities. So I definitely know what the hell I have been talking about and telling all of you all these months. I encourage everyone to keep faith and pray to the CPUs. You all may pray to me as well. On Christmas Day 2018, someone claiming to be Magi-Chan hacked into Christine's Twitter account. They posted a link to a paste bin containing private information about Lucas, including his legal name, home address, and phone number. To this day, nobody knows for certain who sent out the message, but Lucas believed it was the captain. At first, Lucas attempted to play it off, appearing unconcerned by the newfound attention, but as scrutiny intensified, Lucas turned against Chris, sharing Discord logs and images. He claimed that Chris was far too physically intimate with the young teenagers, and that she smelled like cat urine. On December 30th, Chris tweeted a message directed at Lucas. I just want everyone to know how angry and disappointed I am with Lucas Simpkins of Lynchburg. How dare you insult your own special Sonichu? Despite Arvor making him say horrible things, I feel there is bad coming from Lucas himself. No, Lucas, I will not buy you booze. Lucas quickly realized that he was in over his head. In a final, desperate bid to appease the trolls, he leaked the full all-star masturbation video to 8chan, offering it in exchange for being left alone. Shortly afterwards, Lucas and the rest of the teen squad would cut all ties with Chris, disappearing completely from the public eye. On December 31st, New Year's Eve, Chris prophesied that the dimensional merge was imminent. The countdown begins to the new year. Enjoy the rest of this one while you can.
From what I've read and some of the things that I've seen is that you believe Quickville itself is a completely real place.
It is a real place.
And all the characters within Quickville are also real.
Yes.
And one thing that I've heard as well is you believe that you actually can travel to Quickville.
Yes, I do believe so.
Is there any evidence that you have that proves that Quickville is a real place?
That's true, Paul. One thing.
Did you get that from Quickville?
Yep.
That's interesting, that's amazing. One thing as well is your famous medallion. Is that actually a key to travelling?
No, it pretty much would be my key to my transforming between my Sonichu form and back.
Is there anybody else in this dimension that's half Sonichu that you know of?
There were only 3 of us that were half Sonichu. That's me, my father, and Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy?
Yeah.
The serial killer?
Mistaken for a serial killer, but he was clear. Like he was framed. There was a whole bunch of mistake in there. He was actually working undercover at the time.
So did him being falsely put on trial have anything to do with the fact he was half Sonichu? Or was that just unfortunate circumstance?
It was just an unfortunate circumstance.
Oh, it's a particular circumstances.
Right. Fair enough.